trapped in her flooded home in Naples. The former police officer and rescue diver made the half-mile journey in neck-deep, fast-moving water until he finally reached her. Luckily, he found water in the home was over 4 feet deep, with furniture, papers, mementos, everything in the home floating all around her.
Now, his mother did not expect the water to get that high because during Hurricane Irma in 2017, she says she had just 6 inches in the home. Now, the woman's grandson arrived to help. The two men, you can see it right there, pushed her wheelchair through that water to safety. President Joe Biden will be getting a look at the devastation in Fort Myers, Florida today when he makes a post-hurricane visit. Volunteers with Farm Rescue are planning a mass harvest today in Georgetown, just north of Moorhead.
A farmer is recovering from leg surgery and can't work the fields yet, so the group is going to bring in his soybeans for him, weather permitting, of course. Farm Rescue has helped nearly 1,000 families since its inception in 2005.
And it shouldn't be too bad to work the fields today. It might be a little windy, kick up some dust in your face. Lisa Green has a check of our forecast. Morning, Lisa.
Yeah, the better time to be out and about is during this first part of the day with the wind still on the quiet side. It's calm in Fargo. We've got a temperature of about 50 degrees right now. Moorhead's at 46, and we'll see those winds gradually increase as we go into the afternoon hours. But until then, the air is calm, and that's allowing some fog and some dense fog at that. Look at our reports for visibility in the north. We're near 0 in Crookston and in Cooperstown. Other places down less than a mile in that northwestern corner of Minnesota. Southern Valley too. Wadena is near 0. Fargo's doing okay, but in the region we do have areas of fog and dense fog. So be careful as you're hitting the road this morning. That should lift after sunup as we warm up. It's pretty quiet out there right now, but again, things will be changing starting in the second half of the day. So bus stop foggy this morning. This afternoon it's going to be warm, 70 degrees, so one more warm day again, but that wind will start to kick in. I would say around drive time and beyond for the Southern Valley. It may start a little sooner than that up north, and you can see our gusts picking up through the day by 5 o'clock. Some of us seeing gusts into the mid-40s, so windy and a north wind at that, and it'll drive in that colder air for our first alert weather days to come with freezing temperatures, hard freeze temperatures by Friday morning.
A lot that we have to go over this morning. Yeah, Lisa, thank you. 6:54 now, a Chicago man will spend the rest of his life in prison for killing a Minnesota father in a road rage incident. Jamal Smith killed 56-year-old Jay Botten of Crystal in 2021.
Botten was shot in the head as he drove his son home from a baseball game. It happened in a Minneapolis suburb of Plymouth. There are more questions about a group called Code for Media that's stirring up the race for Cass County Sheriff. We've learned the group is made up of current and former law enforcement officers as well as private citizens. But Sheriff candidate Matt King is adamant that he is not involved. Now, this comes as the Cass County Sheriff's Office sent out employee exit interviews to media outlets as part of an open records request made by the anonymous account Code for Media.
This is the same source that sent out mass releases of an investigative document on Monday and requested internal investigative files. Now, those reports will take about 30 to 40 days to fulfill the anonymous sender's request. The estimated cost of labor is about $3,600. Cass County officials say they have not heard back or even gotten payment. Code for Media has 10 days to pay or that request would become null.
A Fargo man wanted for terrorizing since August is back in jail. 31-year-old Robin Heinonen was arrested yesterday morning after police got a tip that he was in an apartment along 42nd Street South in Fargo. Authorities set up a perimeter around the building, and when they went inside, Heinonen jumped off the balcony but was caught by a Fargo PD K-9 team. Some of the crimes he was wanted for include gross sexual imposition, terrorizing, and even aggravated assault.
The Becker County community will remember 2 longtime residents who were found dead in their home last week in what police call a murder-suicide. Friends tell us 45-year-old Stephen Stearns and 49-year-old Stacy Stearns were both diagnosed with terminal cancers. A celebration of life is planned for October 22nd at Height of Land Sportsman's Club. Mugshots for people in Burleigh and Morton County in North Dakota will look a little different these days. We have their faces blacked out here. However, they are all wearing black plastic bags over their clothing.
The Sheriff's Department says this is a request from investigators. They say covering distinct clothing can help create unbiased lineups from photos. The city of West Fargo is asking voters to approve a 0.5% sales tax increase in November to help fund public safety. They say in 2021 there were 239 times with no fire crews available for emergency response due to ongoing calls for service.
There are only 2 school resource officers to cover 16 elementary schools, and response times for fire and medical calls are slower than national standards due to a lack of crews. Election Day is on November 8th. We are 2 weeks away from the Minnesota governor's debate here on Valley News Live, and we want to know what you want to hear from the candidates. Valley News Live will be a part of a panel of journalists asking Governor Tim Walz and challenger Scott Jensen questions live from KTTC TV in Rochester.
You can submit those question ideas to justin.betty@valleynewslive.com, the email on your screen. The debate itself is Tuesday, October 18th from 7 to 8 p.m. It will be airing live in KX4 and live streamed on valleynewslive.com. Well, your outdoor flower pots should also be changing with the seasons.
Yeah, that's right. The Valley Today's Jillian Trudeau joins us live at Baker Garden and Gift to show us the best plants to have around your home for the fall. Good morning, Jillian.
It is a good morning. I'm surrounded by all of these greenery and the plants around here at Baker's Garden and Gift. So if you're anything like me, you have your house full of plants, or maybe your garden's full of plants, but you may be needing to change that with the colder temperatures, or maybe you just want to spruce up your garden with that fall aesthetic. So I'm going to show you here what Audrey, the groundskeeper manager at Baker here, told me this morning. So for the fall blooming perennials, we have the mums over here, and they're just gorgeous autumn colors. And these ones go from August to October. They're great in that fall temperature. And then we also have Aster perennial grasses and Sedums. So these, what's kind of fun about these is that if you do still have your summer perennials, they may still bloom in the fall, so you can definitely keep them out there. But any of your animals, you'll want to bring them back inside because they can't withstand that temperature. But here's one of the grasses here that Audrey said is actually native in our area because we're so close to the prairie here. So she actually recommends not cutting these back either, just because they grow so beautifully and tall, and it's just gorgeous, good for that autumn aesthetic outside of your home. So if you see anything that you really like here, or there's just so many options that you want to browse, you can come by Baker Garden and Gift. They're open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. on the weekdays.
I love fall foliage, fall plants. Oh, looks so amazing.
It was a beautiful live look this morning.
Thank you, Jillian. Veterans from the Red River Valley were given a hero's welcome at Hector Airport last night when they returned from a busy 3-day honor flight to our nation's capital. Once on the ground in Fargo, their hearts were jumping once again as they heard applause and saw their loved ones cheering their return.
Look at that packed airport. An emotional welcome back, I'm sure. For a look back on our coverage, go to valleynewslive.com or simply visit it on the VNL News app.
Yeah, great to see it.
It's a baseball history with a Fargo connection. New York Yankees slugger Aaron Judge blasted his 62nd home run of the year last night in Texas. That dinger makes him baseball's greatest single-season long ball hitter outside of the MLB's notorious steroid era.
And now Judge's record-setting homer breaks a tie with Fargo native Roger Maris for the most hits in the single American season. All right, well, thanks for joining us on the Valley today.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Have a great Wednesday.